And we're recording, I think. Yeah, we're good. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Transit Podcast. This is Kirill Brand. I'm here with Anthony Medina from Austin, Texas. What's up, dude?
What's up? What's up, Doc?
Chilling. Just filled a bunch of orders behind me. That's what took me so long. I know I messaged you earlier. We were supposed to do this last week. I'm busy. And then we were supposed to do it like 6 hours ago. And I just thought, dude, I mean,
Hey,
best
it's good.
best problem to have is I had a bunch of orders come in at once. So like
Exactly. I was gonna say it's good that you're busy. So
yeah, so I want to
like,
make sure I can fill everyone's orders and ship them out first.
yeah,
So that was kind of first priority, and then podcast, which is still a priority. Had to take the back burner until the orders got done.
sick. That's cool.
What's up in Texas? How are you guys handling the whole thing?
We just got extended today, apparently. So May 8th, and it's like required to wear masks now.
100% required.
Yeah, I guess I didn't honestly just kind of skim the article, but it was if you're outside, like out and about, masks required now.
Do you have a mask?
Hell no.
No.
No. There's like a shortage, so I don't really know. Like I haven't been to a store where they just have masks. You know what I mean? I try not to go to stores, period. So it's like,
dude, Facebook Marketplace is hot right now with homemade masks. In fact, my lady just brought one back today.
Yeah.
For me, she got one like ordered that her friends were making or something, and she initially showed me the color she was gonna get me like last week, and it was like this weird white and gray plaid, and I was like, I don't want to wear plaid on my face. Like, and I saw one that was like a solid yellow. I was like, give me the yellow one, and it came in today, and it was yellow with really tiny white polka dots. So now that I have,
nice, that's cute.
The fashion, the drip is gonna be excellent.
Yeah, I know Jordan's girl makes some, and I think Zane has some, but
you'd figure have some.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably see if Zane has any more, because I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to like go into a store and try to find it. I'll go to like a corner store or like Walgreens. You know what I mean? But outside of that, I don't really go to stores.
Yeah, I hear that. I've been thinking of the thought crossed my mind today to do some transit masks.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick.
I could print on it, but on the other hand, like, totally doable, but I don't know if like people would react to like, oh, you're trying to make money off something, even though I would charge like nothing for it, like whatever it costs, or even just with shipments. But it's one of those fine lines where like, I don't know, I can't describe it. Like, I don't even like wearing camo because I feel like if I'm not like people that wear like military like camo pants or whatever, like for style or whatever, I feel like man, I wish I could, but on the other hand, I feel like I was never in the military, so I shouldn't like colors like that. I don't know.
That's hilarious. I love camo. No, I think if you like throw them in or whatever, they're just hella cheap, and it's not something people would trip about. Yeah. And also, it's like a very unique time. This might be the only time in our lives we experience something like this.
True.
So it's kind of like, 5-10 years from now, then you got this like exclusive transit mask.
That's true.
It's not like you're gonna make them for years. You know what I mean? It's like
no, yeah. It would literally be. I would do like a one-off run of like 100 of them, and if people ordered them, they'd have them.
That could be sick.
Yeah. We'll see. Not on my priority list, but something I was looking into today to see what it would take to make them. But
yeah,
what's going on with candy?
Man, I don't know. Like, so originally when this all started, we all kind of agreed that we would wait it out because the premiere was going to be like, it was like the weekend before the quarantine was announced, or a weekend after the quarantine was announced, and the premiere was already set for like the next weekend. So it kind of screwed everything. And then obviously like, because Isaac Parks works at Spider House, and he's the one that set it up. Him and Heath helped set it up. So, it kind of like, it kept getting more and more serious. And then I texted him. I was like, yo, what do you think's going to happen? You think this is going to be able to go down or what? And he was like, they just announced today that they were going to close the ballroom. So the ballroom's like a separate spot. It's like a lot of bands play there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so once they closed that, it was like, I don't know, like it was like, shoot, man, you know, we're so close to being done with this and getting it out there. But the premiere for me was like one of the biggest parts of it. Like the most fun to me is the premiere, you know what I mean? Like just all your homies, all the family getting together and watching this thing that we worked so long on. So now it's like we agreed to wait it out a little bit, like a month or so, and then kind of see how it goes. Because, yeah, I mean, I really want to have a premiere, but it's looking less and less likely. And none of us really want to just have this video just sitting here, just waiting. You know what I mean? Because we're obviously not filming anymore. I'm still editing, but I'm taking my sweet ass time because I know that I can. You know what I mean? Like I'll work like an hour here, there, pretty
How
much
far
every
along
day.
is the video? Like how much percentage is done versus not done?
Dude, it's like, so I'm just now going, I'm going to go back into each section and just like tidy up every little thing. You know what I mean? I just added all the titles for the outro, but every section is completely done. So hypothetically, if I needed to have a premiere like tonight, I could do it.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm so OCD, you know what I mean? And I have this free time on my hands. So I'm like just kind of going through and making sure this sounds okay and that looks okay, that, you know what I mean? It's basically done. I
Yeah.
mean, all the clips, everything's on the timeline. You know what I mean? I need to get some titles from GoGo, but that's it. I just got to plug those in. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's done. It's basically done. And I don't mind, you know, waiting it out because I believe that it's like, if something is sick, it's sick, whether it comes out now or 2 months from now, 3 months from now, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Because once it comes out, if people like it, if it's good, then it's like it doesn't matter when it came out. That
Yeah.
makes sense. You know what I mean?
Would you ever consider doing like an online premiere where like you just had it premiere via YouTube or something
Yeah,
for like just 1 hour and that was it, and then it goes to like a selfie type thing?
yeah. See, that's our you know, that's the backup plan,
Yeah.
obviously, and that's probably going to be the plan. But I don't know. I think everyone's kind of against having like a big premiere. If that was the case, it would just be like a small thing, just like close homies or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you were involved in the video in any way, then you would get an invite. Other than that, it would just be pretty closed off.
Yeah, I know you
But
were waiting for the whole accident with Fritz happened too, and you wanted Fritz to be there since he's part of the
yeah,
video. I just saw the
yeah,
update. I think it was today or last night or something that he's finally at home and functioning. Still has a way to go, but I was wondering if that
yeah.
affected anything with having some sort of even like small gathering over here.
I mean, I'm totally down to do it, to have like a gathering, maybe at someone's house or something like that. But again, we kind of agreed to wait till like May 1st, and then from there, then we can decide. Because I think pretty much all the dudes are pretty like they're anxious about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, Me, I don't care, dude. I'll wait it out. But at the same time, I want to do what the majority wants to do. So if they want to put it out, you know, tomorrow or whatever this weekend, then
yeah,
I don't want to do that, but I'll agree to it.
yeah. I
But
remember.
no, like
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, I talked to Fritz yesterday. Um, Yesterday was like the first day that I really left the house in like a month. I was like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna go to Cody and Andrews, and we just skated the box. But yeah, then Fritz like called me and I FaceTimed him, and I was like, dude, I was like kind of blown away. He seems exactly like Fritz. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was worried about all kinds of stuff because he's had like frontal lobe injuries, and those are like pretty serious. You know what I mean? Like people cannot, they can be basically unrecognizable. Like there's so much stuff going through their head, they're not the same person.
yeah,
But talking to Fritz, it was like it's Fritz. You know what I mean? Like he looked so good, he sounded so good. He was actually driving, which he's not supposed to do,
oh shit.
but he was driving. He
Yeah,
was driving. He was on his phone, uh, FaceTiming, so he wasn't like holding it, luckily. But no, I mean the fact that he can drive, like that's a very good sign. I I think, dude, I think he'll be 100% in no time, really.
dude. The craziest part is like, so I lived, for anyone that doesn't know, I lived in I half-assed lived in Austin for like 2 years. I lived in Cedar Park. It's pretty much another planet, but but I lived in Austin. My parents still live in Austin, and I've seen Fritz and Sully more times in the last year than I've seen anyone from Austin because I've traveled. When I had my job, I
Yeah.
lost my job and everything. I was traveling to Dallas all the time, and then I saw Sully randomly message me when we were in Blade Havasu and was like, "Yo, I'm driving through. Are you still there?" So we stayed like an extra 6 hours in Havasu just to be able to hang with Sully, which is pretty sick.
That's sick. Yeah, I
But
saw that. That was random.
super random, but so fun. Dude. I got to meet baby Keaton and stuff, and that was really rad.
Yeah. Little baby John. That baby looks exactly like John. It's
It's
insane.
identical. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nuts.
Yeah, for sure.
So how'd you this? I mean, I don't know if you've been asked this. I'm sure you have been, but like, how would you get started in filming? How'd you get started in filming the Texas scene? What's kept you in
Um,
the Texas scene?
I don't know. It's just something that kind of just happened organically. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, my parents had a video camera, and it just seemed like a normal thing to just bring it out. It was before, it was before Jackass and all that stuff, so it wasn't like it was trending. You know what I mean? I started filming before I saw like a skate video as well, so it was, I don't know, just super random. We had maybe one of my friends had a video camera the first time I went out or something. I can't really remember the first time I skated, but I don't remember there being a camera, but I remember it just became a thing where I was like, my parents have a video camera, like, let's take it out.
Yeah.
And just started filming, obviously not taking it serious in any way. And then I started to watch videos. And I think it was maybe like Bo Connington videos. I really like those.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of made me think like, oh, this is cool. Like I want to try this, whatever.
Yeah.
And then just started doing like random little VCR to VCR edits, stuff like that.
Were you filming things pre-skating getting involved? Like, were you just making like, little home movies and stuff, or did it pretty much start like at the same time?
Yeah, I guess so. Cause so I have like two younger brothers and a younger sister, and I guess we would make like these stupid skits and stuff at home, just like when we were bored or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe that's kind of where it started. You know what I mean? Like wanting to film things. Yeah, honestly, never really thought about that till now. But yeah, that's how it started. It's just always been cool to me to like, you can have your own video camera and like, you know what I mean? Record these memories. Yeah. And I guess going back, my whole family always had like home videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was always important to them. So it just kind of happened organically to like pick up a camera and record things that happened. But yeah, it wasn't until I got like the GL1 where I first like started taking it serious. And then I just like completely put my skating on the back burner. Kind of sucks, but I don't know. It's not like I would have went anywhere. You know what I mean? It's not like being pro was. It was around the time where skating started to die down. You know what I mean? Being pro was not as lucrative as it once was. So it's not like I really missed out on anything money wise, but I do have some regrets. You know what I mean? I wish I would have skated harder for longer, because once I started getting into filming, I pretty much just like stopped. I was like, whatever. I'd rather film my homies than try to get filmed. You know what I mean?
But you recognize that you had talent in filming, so you wanted to utilize your talent filming.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it was more fun to me to film things, to film people do things. Yeah, it was more fun to film than to be filmed, for whatever reason.
Even though you're still filming, you have a section in your own video, right?
Yeah, and it's pretty much completely filmed by like Brandon and Ryan really like held it down the whole way. And then Cody did some, Mason did some, Andrew, whoever really can, just pick up the camera. I'm like, here, just stand here, zoom this way, pan away, whatever. But Brandon
I may or may not have filmed a couple clips in your video on my last trip to Austin, because I remember.
Oh yeah, you did for
skating
sure.
And Broom was skating, and someone was like, and no one wanted to use a fisheye.
Yeah.
And I was like, fisheye. So I may have filmed something.
Yeah, no, you did. You filmed a few things in there. Yeah, Brandon's weird. Brandon's like, sometimes he kills it, dude. He'll freak the fish so good. But then once he blows it, you know what I mean? It's like a confidence shock, or it just like kills him. And then he won't want to film again for like 2 or 3 weekends. Or like, dude, you got it.
To sit and film and try to film someone attempt something so many tries, and then the one time they land it to fuck up the filming is like devastating.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I mean,
And that definitely happens.
correctly, and the other person has to do it again correctly. And sometimes, like, the worst part is when somebody rolls away and they're like, "That was the fucking one," and then you're like, "It was, dude, for you, but not the way it looks on camera, dude. My bad."
And I think probably every filmer's experienced that. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you laced it, and sometimes you just know you blew it. And it always sucks when someone's trying something for so long, and then you just like everyone's excited and like celebrating, and you're just like, hold on. I'll always like literally walk away. And I'm like, hold on, like let me watch this, and then they'll just wait for my reaction. If it's a smile or a thumbs up, they're like, okay, good. If not, it's like an immediate, we got to redo it. So it's cool because I've been filming with these guys so long. It's like they don't get mad. You know what I mean? Obviously, you get frustrated if you've been trying something an hour and then you blow it. They're going to be a little pissed, but they don't let you see it. I think filming Mason is like can be scary to blow a fisheye because he gets so angry. You're like, oh shit,
it's pretty worked up.
Yeah,
and I'm actually really stoked he kind of hopped back on because he did for a while. He got into his own side hobbies.
Yeah, he just. I think he was just like a lot of guys. Just they should have went further than they did.
Yeah.
So you just kind of like, I don't know if it's bitter is the right word, but you just kind of lose like respect for blading in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He looks at it like it's silly to take it serious. He spent so much time and put so much work into something that really didn't give him anything back.
And on top of that, having a really bad head injury as well.
Yeah, for sure. But even after that, I mean, he was still so good. You know what I mean? And I think for him, we've talked about it a lot, and I'm pretty open about it. Like, obviously, there's nowhere to go right now. It's not like you're going to become a millionaire or something like that. But talent-wise, Mason was like, one of the best I've ever seen, for sure. But I think for him, it's all just decision making. I think for a lot of guys, it's decision making. You know what I mean? Like, because he was offered a spot on USD when he was like 17. Is like around City Never Sleeps.
Yeah.
He was still like great.
It's one of my favorite videos, by the way.
Yeah, it's great. But he was starting to like figure it out style wise and stuff like that. And he turned it down because he wanted to stay loyal to Rems, loyal to Kato.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of screwed him. Nothing against Kato. He's a good dude. But a lot of people on Rems at that time were just like either moved on or just kind of like faded away.
Yeah.
And they had like the best team, man. They had CJ and Frankie, Connor. Haffy, yeah, obviously. But and most of those guys didn't get shit. Really, it was just Haffy that was the man, and everyone else just kind of fell away. So yeah, I feel like if he would have went to USD when he was young, then maybe he'd have a pro skate. I don't know, but
I remember him when he did, or when I lived off like Palmer and Mopac. I lived near Mason. I don't know if he still lives there or not, but he used to, the apartment complex I lived in had a pool. He used to come over and come swimming all the time, and I remember him telling me like, if I stick on, he was still on Rems at the time. If I stick on Rems, like I think I'm getting a pro skate. Like there's talks right now I'm getting a pro skate. Never really happened. I remember that.
Yeah,
that did kind of weigh on him. But I mean, you put so much of your life and energy into something. You want to, like I think everyone's ideal dream when they're younger is I want to get a pro skate, and I'm going to get a pair. I'm going to skate. I'm going to get a pair that I'm going to leave in a box or put in a shelf somewhere to admire, to say that I did something. And
yeah, for sure.
A lot of those people put in that work and they don't get it.
Yeah, or at least a pro wheel or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think with Mason, it was like he was so good. He's still so good, but you know what I mean? It's just like looking back on it now, I think he's one of those guys that as he kind of disappeared, he got more fans. They're like, where the fuck's this guy at? You know what I mean? Like he was so sick.
Yeah.
And now it's like kind of a shocker that he never went pro. He never got a pro skate. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, but decisions. decisions, dude. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to take care of yourself instead of being like loyal to someone. If they have a track record where it's like, you know, you're not going anywhere, no one on Rem's got anything except for Happy. You know what I mean? So his whole thing was, this was my first sponsor. You know what I mean? This guy treated me like really good, not like a son, but you know what I mean? Like a homie. And he just wanted to stay loyal, and that kind of fucked him in the end. And I think he was offered a pro skate at one point, but he didn't want it the way it was presented. It was kind of like, hey man, like
I remember that. I remember
yeah,
talking about that.
yeah. So that's why he turned it down. And I get it. Whatever. Mason had this whole thing where he wanted to be announced pro, have a pro edit ready to go, and be in Europe traveling and touring at the same time. Like all in, you know what I mean? Like as the news hit, he was already out doing these things. That's what he wanted. And yeah, none of that happened, obviously. So that's why he turned the skate down, because he felt like he was already, the steam that he had, he'd already lost it. So why would he get a pro skate now? You know what I mean? And then he turned it down. But,
Do you regret that?
what's that?
Do you think he regrets any part of that decision?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mason's like the funnest dude to hang out with. Like the biggest ball of energy ever. At least when I was there. I don't know if I'm not full time like you guys are.
Mason's great. I think he's way more negative now.
Yeah.
But I think that's because of what happened, obviously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's probably the last time he was over here was right before the quarantine got bad, and this was literally the conversation. It was like, I was like, yeah, dude, but you got to admit, like, even if it presented itself not a way that you wanted it to, if you had a skate at home with your name on it, you would feel good about it. And he was just like, no, I don't care. So he stands by that statement, but I don't fully believe it. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, saying I don't care sounds like the typical statement of someone that does care would say.
Yeah. Well, you don't.
We'll have to get Mason on the horn on a separate one and get his. I don't know if you'd be even willing, but Mason seems like, if you know, he's pretty open. But if you don't know him, I feel like he's pretty quiet. He just sticks to himself.
Yeah. I don't fully. You wouldn't be mad about something. You wouldn't have anger towards something if you didn't care about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So when he gets all heated about rollerblading, he gets all heated about it. It shows that he does care a little bit. Like, so.
The bummer is, I remember like a week before Candy was going to premiere at and this is kind of like exactly like you were saying, around the time they were starting to, like, things with the quarantine were getting serious, things with the COVID were getting serious.
Yeah.
I remember like last minute looking at flights to see like what it would cost to go to Austin. It was so cheap, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go to Austin and go watch the premiere. Like, that'd be sick. Go see my parents, go check out the premiere, hang with the boys, whatever else. And then the quarantine happened, and then I've looked at flights to Austin since then. And it was the scenario from Salt Lake City, Austin was like, if I wanted to leave, like, what time is it right now? 8 o'clock. If there was a 10 o'clock flight right now, and I live like 15 minutes from the airport, I can go to Austin and back on Delta one way for like $89. And it's so cheap. And the worst part is, like, I shouldn't travel. Like, I could, but I shouldn't. You know, gas is cheap. I could drive, but I shouldn't. Like, it's this weird scenario of like, just not being able to do shit with like the perfect opportunity to do everything. Especially now, like, I lost my job. Transit is now something I do, you know, if I can, if orders come in. If I'm lucky enough to have orders come in, I'll come and do those right away. But I have all the free time in the world. I can easily go to Austin for a week or two and not trip. But now I got to worry about, like, if I went, do I want to stay with my parents? Like, do I want to stay at a homie's house? Like, do I want to get people sick if I'm hypothetically sick and I don't know it? Right now I feel fine. You clearly feel fine. But
for sure. It sucks. It sucks to be in that scenario. Like, finally you have this free time, but you're not sure that you don't have it, or, you know what I mean, you don't want to get it. And it's like, you don't want to, I don't mind if I have it, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm strong enough that I'll get over it. The worst thing is if I get it and I like infect some old person and then they end up dying, you know what I mean? Like, I would never know that was going to happen, but that's why I don't want to go out all the time, because it could happen. You know what I mean? It's just a scary scenario. But no, I talked to Raina recently, and he said that the last flight that he worked, there was 7 people on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
Remember Dan
insane.
Dickerson, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So Dan still works for Delta, and he's like a manager of whatever his department is. But it's like it's ground crew, so he loads planes, and then like he'll drive the planes at night into the hangars or whatever. And he was saying that's all it is now. Like it'll be like a Delta flight, for instance, to Austin, with like maybe 10 people on board if it's busy.
Yeah.
Or he said he had a flight going to Seattle. He was working one concourse, loaded this flight that was going to Seattle, then left to go work another concourse. The flight to Seattle had like 15 people on it on a full Airbus. Went to another one, and then he got a call to come back to that concourse because somebody had coughed on that flight, and the 14 other passengers that were on that flight threw such a good fit that they had to turn the plane around and fucking kick that passenger off, which is insane. But he's also telling me that like every plane gets fogged every night, like that big fog spray to desanitize the whole plane, and then between every flight, like sanitizing everything. So part of me is like, is it safe enough to go? But I don't know. It's that gamble. But I also don't know if the gamble is fear, like fear mongering. So I have no idea.
I'm starting to lean towards that way, you know. But I also don't want to be ignorant. I don't want to be like a full conspiracy theorist about it. But I think it's unavoidable. Like even today, I went to Walgreens, and like as soon as you insert your card and you hit that keypad, how many hands have touched that keypad? You know what I mean? Like
I think about that every time at a store.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Or any door handles, just the smallest things. If you're not required to literally like use hand sanitizer, press the keypad, enter your PIN, and then take your card out, then it doesn't matter if you're 6 feet away from someone in line. You know what I mean? If 100, 200 people touch that keypad, you know what I mean? It doesn't, there's so many things about it that don't make sense.
The virus like lives on plastic, I think, for 5 days. You know, all those buttons are made out of plastic.
Yeah.
Even then, by the time like you touch the keypad, you're trying to be careful. Like sometimes I'll use my knuckle to touch the punch in, whatever else. But then then you're grabbing your bag. So even if you go sanitize, you're still on your bag, and then you're opening your car door. Like I have sanitizer in the side part of my door. And I'll sanitize anyways. But in my head, I'm like, does it even matter?
Hell no.
Because I already touched my door handle. I touched this. I touched that. Like I just found out today. Who knows if it's hearsay? It could be fear mongering. I'm thinking a lot of this is fear mongering. But that it lives on your shoes for up to 13 days and can stay like up to 12 feet above you. I don't know, dude. It's a new statistic every day.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I saw a meme where it was like a bunch of ATMs in a row. You probably saw the same meme, but there's like 3 ATMs in a row, and there's little spots marked behind them.
Yeah.
6 feet apart, but
they're
the spots side to side are right next to each other, and it was like COVID-19 can't move side to side.
Yeah, it's like
so stupid.
Oh yeah, it was something about I saw the same meme. I think it was a little bit different, but it was like when COVID turned into like a game of chess, where like you move forward but not to the side.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Trip, dude.
But yeah, little things like that. It's if someone has it, dude, and they go in a store, everyone's getting it. There's no way you can avoid that. And even restaurants and stuff, like people that work there that are still making food to deliver it or whatever, if one guy in there has it, you know what I mean? Like how many people are going to get it from that?
Yeah.
And if these people aren't tested, then it's like, what is really the point? You know what I mean? It's impossible to stop in the way that we think. It's like, oh, it's okay. Just stand 6 feet apart. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just silly.
6 feet's a good, safety measure. But yeah, if you're even, they say like when someone sneezes, like the air comes out of your mouth like 100 plus miles an hour.
Yeah.
Someone sneezes around you and they have it, even if it's an allergy sneeze and they don't know they have it, like it's spreading to every 6 foot person away from them for, X amount of feet.
For sure. Yeah.
Are you guys still, are you going out and skating at all?
I haven't. Like I said, what was it, Sunday? Sunday, that was the first time that I've skated in a month. We had a session with like the last time we filmed. And then pretty much that next Tuesday, I think, when they announced it. So yeah, I hadn't skated for a month because I don't like to skate by myself. I don't have a place where I can use a P rail. You know what I mean? So yeah, like we were talking about, I was just like, you know what, man? Like if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. I can do certain things to avoid it, but I want to hang out with my homies. So I just went to Cody and Andrews, and we just had a box session.
I remember
And that was the first time.
Had that, Cody and Broom did that like global game of skate with themselves because Zach Pavel bailed out or something.
Yeah, well, Zach, they eventually played, but I don't know. Zach was pretty drunk. It didn't really go down as planned. and then yesterday, Andrew was trying to play John Fromm, and John was busy.
Yeah,
he's scared. I'm trying to get.
I'd be scared too. I mean, I'm clearly not the caliber of Broom, but I've been seeing one of Broom's clips he's been posting on IG on that box, and fuck, dude, Broom is like on the weirdest level of good. If anyone's never seen Broom skate, it's like you can watch people skate and be like, it's like, you know, watching X Games in person. Watching Broom skate is literally like pressing every button on Tony Hawk at the same time and like landing, and you're just like, oh, that was sick. You get hella points.
Yeah, he's definitely a box P-rail master, but he's afraid to play Josiah or Oregon. So just throwing that out there.
Are they scheduled to play?
No. I talked to Josiah about it, but he said he don't have like service right now. He'd have to be on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But he's definitely afraid to play Josiah. Just because Josiah,
dude, that would be a sick. Let's make an exclusive, dude.
Yeah, that'd be sick. And then Oregon's got all those channels. I mean, Oregon can do anything. I don't know if you saw his new VOD, but
I haven't watched it. Did it release? It released yesterday, right?
No, it came out this morning, I think. I'm not sure.
I'll purchase it when we're done. I just bought Sunday I bought the desert one with Matthew Ledoux, and I bought the Joey Chase one.
Sick.
I really like both of them, so I'll have to get the Oregon one.
Yeah. No, the Oregon one is very,
and let me just chime in, and this also goes to like for anyone listening or anyone watching, going forward, even if Candy ends up as a self-buy, which I hope it does at some point, like if you're sitting at home, even if you've lost your job and you're collecting your unemployment like I am right now, and you got the $5, it's $5 minimum to buy these VODs. And I think of it for transit too, like if you can buy a t-shirt, like great. I really appreciate the support and I'll send it out. If you can't, no hard feelings. Hopefully someday you will. But like for these $5 videos where people put all this creative time and they put their bodies in so much danger, like you should 100% right now is the time for like rollerbladers to support rollerblading. Like spend $5, be entertained. I bought the pink VOD with Chad whenever like the day it came out. I still watch it and it still pumps me up. And like it's nice to have a little collection of something like, you know, like DVDs don't exist. You can't get stoked about like getting a VHS in the mail or a DVD in the mail anymore, but you should still be just as stoked to support your friends. Even if you don't know them personally, you can still consider a little bit of your friend. You should still be able to participate.
For sure.
And support those people. That's so important right now.
Yeah. And honestly, that's kind of one of the things too. It's like we're trying to hold out for this premiere, but at the same time now is like a good time to release it because everyone's kind of stuck at home and VODs are coming out pretty regularly, I feel like. So yeah, everyone's like, man, would be a good time to drop it. I bet people would buy it more now because they can't do shit else.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, you know, if I release it and 2 people buy it, I'm still okay with that. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't want to release it just for sales.
Come on now.
I'm just saying, I don't want to release it strictly because like, oh, now's the time to do it. You know, strike while the iron's hot. But
if I were you, I'm not you, but I would release it just because it's done.
Yeah.
But pretty much done. And like the fire's still within you. Like you'll get excited at this point that you started and finished creating something. You know,
yeah.
When was the last Texas video?
I don't know. I don't want to say Waterloo and then skip someone else's because I know that like John has made like an online video and I think Troy made one too. So
okay, let me say, when's the last video you put out? Like
2013.
So 2013, it's 2020. So 7 years later. You know, it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
Like either just taking a break or skating with your friends or filming here and there. Like you should put it out strictly because like there's a fire under your ass, and there was a fire enough under your ass to make this video happen this year. And you had a premiere plan, you had everything planned. Like you might as well drop it, but you're still excited because a lot of the times, like I know you're making it for others, but I mean, majority, like, you also made it for you, like, because you wanted to stoke yourself out and your friends out. And you want
Yeah.
to spread that. So, like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, even though you might be able to have a physical premiere, you should still at least be able to, like, launch it and feel like just the excitement coming in. Whether it be like you and the homies
Sure.
get together and you watch it just on someone's television, and you maybe do that like YouTube live, and you can just watch like this comments stream in while while it's playing live. Like, you'll get excited off that. It'll be like a premiere, dude. It'll be like hearing like hoot and hollering, just be attentive.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. And it's also cool to give people something to watch. You know what I mean? Like the way that Jump Street's been doing these live videos. Seems like everyone's pretty juiced on it. So
It's amazing.
that's also cool too. But for me, I think because I am making it, like, I want to be so satisfied with it that's kind of why I keep tinkering here and there.
Yeah.
And like, I got this extra time, I might as well.
Well, I mean, yeah,
You know what I mean?
you're only one every 7 years, dude. You got to make it perfect.
And this video just like made me kind of, I don't want to make any more videos. I like making edits and stuff. That's fun. But as far as a video, you know what I mean? It's just, it can take away from the fun, especially if, this guy has 40 clips, this guy has 10. We got to go to this guy's spots. Maybe no one else wants to go to these spots.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of tough on the whole crew. Because I hate like complaining and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a lot of bitching towards the end of filming for this video. So I think we're all ready to just be done with it and just like start skating carefree and not care, like just have fun. You know what I mean? If we go to this
video you made, did you also say it was your last?
No, because that one we filmed in like 6 months or something.
Yeah. How long is this filming for?
I mean, it's been like a year and 4 months, 5 months. But technically, we've been done filming for over a month now, so.
How long would you say this video is going to be once it's all done-ish, like ballpark, for the people that?
I'm trying to get it 40 minutes or under.
That's a great length.
Yeah, because there's 8 sections.
Who's sections?
So me, Mick, Andrew, Heath, Ryan, Brandon, Mason, and then Sully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of random, like, is there like a friend section or?
I don't like friend sections, so I wanted to have a long intro and a long outro and put all the friend stuff in there and I only use like the best friend stuff. Yeah, not a big fan of montages and stuff like that. And with the video already being so long, you know what I mean? I had to cut out a lot of that kind of fat there. So
how much access video do you have after you cut out? Like, would it be worth it, for instance, as a perk to your selfie or potential selfie customers to have, like, additional B-roll at the end or I remember, I don't know, no one does sections anymore. Do you remember those?
Yeah, and it's funny because when I did Waterloo, I had a fall section. And then they're always fun to watch too. They're hilarious.
They are. Unless it's a really bad fall, then it's tough to watch.
Yeah, those you just delete those.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess it could be cool. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that, honestly. I know like the leftovers, I was going to like slowly put them on Instagram. A lot of it was depending on the premiere too. You know what I mean? If we can do a premiere, if it's a month from now, a month and a half from now, then I was going to kind of just trickle little photos, little video here and there on Instagram just to keep people somewhat interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The cool thing is I think that we're flying pretty far under the radar. So there's not like hype behind it. You know what I mean? So I wanted
hype around it already.
That's why I'm kind of holding on a trailer. I want the trailer ideally to come out and then the video comes out like a few days later, if that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's also cool to read a lot of comments from random people that are not random people, but just random comments that I didn't know people that actually had candy on their radar. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So they're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see it. So I'm not going to name drop people, but yeah, there's some comments that are just random. Like, oh shit, I had no idea that you knew this was going to happen. Sick. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool.
And then you said leaking, photos and stuff like that. So speaking of photos, I'm assuming is Mick shooting all the photos and Gogo's editing, doing all the editing work as far as
Yeah.
like the I don't know what it would be called, the monotone colors of like the yellows and the blues and whatever else.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's another thing is kind of we're making a book. Um, Also something that we don't expect a whole lot of people to buy, but still we're only going to do this one time. So it'd be cool to have this book. But yeah, most of it.
Make it. I'm like I knew you were gonna make a book because I talked to Mick a little bit. Mick's supposed to be
Yeah.
on too. You probably will
Yeah.
later
Yeah.
this week, but
Sick.
just I just love the print media. I have every like art like rollerblading or inline photo book
Yeah.
been made just because exactly like I can log in at some point, whether it be Candy or Desert or the Joey Chase section. At one point, they're all just going to go live just for people to see that couldn't buy it and to be the first ones
Yeah.
to see it. And you'll
Yeah.
log in, but like a book will go out of print. You know what I mean? And you'll be the one of the people that still has it in like nice condition. Like I think rollerblading books are coffee table books to me now. Like they're nice,
Yeah.
something to like look at.
For sure. Yeah. I have most of the books too that come with VODs and stuff like that. But yeah, most of the photos were taken by Mick, and then Gamel took a lot, Joseph Gamel. And then you have a photo in there, and Sully has a couple. Yeah, it's kind of random, but most of it's a Mick and Gamel.
Is it a mix
And
between
then
film and digital or all film?
yeah, so Mick has most of the photos, so it's like 60, it's probably 60, 70 film, and then the rest is digital.
Are you guys laying out the book as as Mick goes through his developing process, or is it
Um,
there's an idea but nothing's really laid out yet?
the book's completely done. That's the thing. I think we're literally gonna get it printed like any day now. We're gonna go ahead and get them printed, and then if we're sitting on a box of books waiting on the premiere, that's just how it's gonna be. But yeah, me is Ryan. Ryan had a big hand in the book. Is me, Ryan, Mick, and then Gamel. Whenever he was free, we would just get together at Ryan's and just kind of like start out slow. You know what I mean? Filtering through so many photos, but now it's completely done. We set up kind of like our layout, and then gave it to Gogo, and Gogo just like sprinkled his magic on it, and it's great, man. I love it because it's I think right now a lot of the books are similar. They're like there's just a very trendy thing going on right now.
Yeah.
And it's not really so for Candy, the whole thing with Candy was to be like more loud, more colorful. So Go-Go has a lot of like colors all sprinkled throughout the book. Like the colors are bright. It's very vibrant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like that. It's different. It's cool.
Is there write-ups with the photos, or is it just strictly photography in the book and nothing else? Like no words?
Yeah, there's no words. This is one of the things we want to talk about, or one of the things we talked about was because there's not like a story behind it. You know what I mean? Like with Del Fondio or Formosa, like they went on this tour. So they're in an area they don't know. You know what I mean? And I think Del Fondio had some text in the book. I'm not positive, but no,
I think I have that one. I think it does. Not a lot. Like I think like maybe a sentence or two here and there.
yeah, no, we cut all that out just because it's like it's a book of photos. You know what I mean? We're not trying to tell a story through the book. That's kind of it's a skate video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's in our hometown. Most of it is filmed where we live, so it's not.
And are the photos? Do they depict a still image of a shot from the video for everyone, or is
Yeah.
Yeah? So for every book you'll see the actual live movement in the video.
Yeah, I didn't want to have anything in the book that wasn't in the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was kind of the first filtering process was like, probably not going to use that. Just cut the photo, throw it on Instagram. And then I think it was good for Gogo to put it together because he wasn't there for like 99% of filming. You know what I mean? So he kind of decided he could see stories through the images. If that makes sense. Like he would see a photo, he would see a B-roll photo, and then he'd kind of put two and two together. And he knew little things about the photos. He knew little things about the clips through the photos, and that was so sick. Like, just I don't know, man. He's just a genius. So
Amazing.
yeah, we love the book. It's sick.
So how are you gonna release the book? Is it gonna be where if someone buys a selfie, it'll just come with, like, you'll just ship to that address, or do you have a distributor for your book, or how are you doing it?
Yeah, we're only making a small amount of books. You know what I mean? We kind of calculated how many would be free for family, homies. So there's not going to be a lot of books. But yeah, I'll probably either do like Pulley, Big Cartel, or Selfie. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, the book would come available the same day as the video, like at the same time.
Okay.
And I guess Selfie, you can do digital and physical products. So I guess whenever they check out, you know what I mean, they would just choose both. And I'm not sure because I didn't know you can do physical products with Selfie, but
Right on.
might do that route. But yeah, I think the book, I don't know, we're not all like big name pros the way, like, you know, there's a Seconds book and stuff like that. But I think for the people that know us, you know, a lot of people got a lot of love for Texas. So I think the people that know us will be like, yeah, I'll buy the book. Fuck it, you know. So.
I think more people will buy the book and the video than even you think.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, 100%. I think right now is like what we were talking about earlier, like people have time, or, you know, maybe like could right now be the time to like put out something and have people maybe buy it more, but you don't want to push that, you know, aspect of it. But I also think right now is like the best time to kind of put stuff out and be appreciated for what you put out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, hypothetically, throwing it out there, if you guys wanted, I mean, transit itself can, if you wanted to send like a bulk of the copies here, I can just send them out. I have all boxes and shipping all set up.
Sick. Yeah, sick. Yeah, well, definitely, that's definitely something we got to talk about, figure that out. But yeah, I think we're only making like 75 bucks, so
sick.
Probably.
Well, definitely outside of the homies to get one. Put me down. I want to buy one.
All right, for sure.
I want to buy the video, dude, for sure. Are you guys planning at all on making like a DVD copy or any sort of hard copy of the video, or just
online? Probably not. I didn't really plan on it. Maybe, you know, maybe the homies want a copy or whatever. Maybe make one for like Keaton's mom or something. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there might be some.
Right on. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess the last thing we touch on, I'll let you go, is how did the name Candy come
about? So Candy was like actually filming for Waterloo was around the time that we would go to Dallas a lot to film, and we'd always be staying with Keaton because Keaton would always be in like, he's always in these just huge houses, these mansions basically. Yeah. So he's always like, yeah, I got plenty of room. So we'd always just be staying with Keaton. And at the time was like, you know, when Keaton was very vocal on Facebook, I'm sure you read some of his rants and stuff like that.
I did.
But yeah, he was just so adamant about, because in Candy, I'm filming like Mason, I'm filming Andrew, and this is when they're young, you know what I mean? They're still teenagers. And he was just so adamant about this is the future.
Waterloo?
What's that?
By Candy, you mean Waterloo for the time frame?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So during Waterloo, these guys are teenagers, and to Keaton, it's like, this is the future of rollerblading. We need to be pushing the future more. And that just wasn't really happening. So he wanted to create a wheel company that was just focused completely on amateur bladers, like the best amateur bladers.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't want to say too many names because I don't remember exactly who was involved, but I know he was making, like, the company was him and Jacuzzi. And then I think Dean was involved, and for sure Paul John. But yeah, it was a wheel company just based completely around like the best amateur bladers. And that was his goal, you know what I mean, to push those guys, because no one else was doing it at the time. There's just such a long line of pros that have been good for so long, you know what I mean? It's like that slippery slope where you can't be pushing people out that are still like at the top of their game, but at the same time, you gotta let the younger kids eat too, you know what I mean? So that's why he wanted to create a company that just promoted amateur rollerbladers. And that was Candy, and that was something that obviously didn't come. It just never happened for whatever reason. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then I had a idea. I know John hit me up. He was like, "Hey man, I want to make like one more section before I kind of stop filming street as much. You know, just kind of take it easy. You know, accept that you're older and just kind of like, you know, there's no point of going out there in the streets all the time, just killing yourself."
Yeah.
So John wanted to film one more section, and I was like, "Sick." We've actually been talking about, you know, filming another video, one last video. Because I think most of us are kind of the same boat. Obviously not Andrew because he's like young, but for the most of the rest of us, we're like 30s. You know, it's kind of, it hurts.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So yeah, once John got involved, I was like, it didn't take long to think of a name. I was like, oh shit, like I want to make something for Keaton, but I don't want it just to be a dedication screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that just kind of happened. I was like, it's the perfect name. Everyone was juiced on it, and got GoGo involved because GoGo had GoGo was like very involved in Candy, like what Keaton was doing.
Yeah.
So he had all these emails from Keaton and like old designs and stuff that Keaton was working on. So he obviously jumped at it. He was like, "Yeah, for sure, want to do this," and that's kind of, it just all came together, you know.
Is there any talks within the Texas scene of resurrecting what never was? Like, have you guys ever thought about maybe making Candy a wheel company in itself?
Yeah,
Like, kind
yeah,
of honor to that and have something tangible.
yeah. Yeah, we had to talked about it with GoGo pretty much immediately. He was like, he wanted to set the brand up to where it was something, if we wanted to continue with it, we could. So it's not just a skate video name, you know what I mean? It's not just a skate video logo. Yeah, he was like, if the window's open, you know what I mean? If we want to pursue this further, I kind of don't want to, just because it's like, it's one thing just to add the name there to dedicate it to somebody, but I don't know Keaton's complete vision of what he wanted, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't want to try to like do something based on what I think he would have wanted. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. But
I mean, I think the basis is there, and everyone you guys have that's having sections in the video kind of reflects what the vision was. I mean, for knowing what you just told me, but
yeah, for sure. And knowing Keaton, he would never be like, "Oh man, you're doing me wrong." You know what I mean? Like he would love it. And I love the name too, Candy. It's so sick. So
great. It's a great name.
Yeah, the windows, you know, the doors open, whatever. We'll see.
Dang. Man. Well, I think on that end, let's end it on that.
Okay.
Do you have anything else to say or anything you wanted to touch on?
No, not really. Honestly, I mean, we pretty much covered everything. I didn't really, me and you obviously hadn't talked about what you're going to ask or anything. So it's kind of cool. And that kind of left the door open for whatever.
I'm gonna be totally honest. I planned 0 questions for this, and it actually worked out like really well. I feel like we conversated it, and like we both had good things to say, and I think people will be really interested to listen to it.
Yeah, sick.
But what I want to do with everyone that's been on so far, I don't know if you've listened to any of the other ones or watched the YouTube ones, but like Talbot and I had like we did one, and we followed up and did another one like a month or 2 later. And I just kind of want to do, like Jump Street is the holy grail of all podcasts. I'm just trying to like, put my big toe in the door and have something. But
yeah.
Jump Street does like this incredible job where it's usually, from what I understand or from what I've seen, it's usually you're just there once, maybe you're there twice. But they have a whole production. They're great at what they do. But I kind of want to do like little follow-ups here and there with everyone. So like maybe if you're available, we can do one post, when Candy comes out and talk about like how your reaction was and how you felt about it.
For sure. Yeah, that'd be sick. And especially if like, if things work out and it can do a premiere and maybe like you can attend, then we can do something.
I will 100% be there if I can attend.
Yeah.
I don't anticipate myself having a job in the next like 4 months, to be totally honest. So right now, like if I can attend, they do lift some of those restrictions. Not even that I feel restricted now, but if I feel like it's deemed safe enough for me to travel out there, I'm definitely going to come.
Yeah.
And I will say this, I mean, I think you met Corey, my lady, and
Huh?
Texas
Yeah.
is always still on the back burner of that we want to come back, but this time, actually
Yeah.
downtown. And what's crazy, I'll leave on this smallest part. You know how Texas is like, or Austin was like stupid expensive, right?
Yeah.
Salt Lake City now to rent a house more expensive than Austin
Damn.
by a
So
long
now's the
shot.
time. Now's
By
the
a
time.
long shot, yeah. Like we were looking at houses like we can live like on the green belt downtown
Sick.
for like $200 less than we live here right now for a house that
Man.
we're living in right now that I think was built in 1917, so it's over 100 years old.
Damn. That's crazy.
Pretty well stuff.
Well,
Anyway, man, and thanks so much for joining.
For
And
sure, man.
and let's do it again very soon. I can't wait for the video to come out. I can't wait for the selfie to come out, or however you want to do it, YouTube release. I think you should do something. If myself as being transit, or Tori and I can help out at all with anything, whether it be promoting the video, or if you guys somehow wanted to do a wheel thing with Tori being part of he's got a lot of connects with all
Yeah.
of that. So if that ever went down, go ahead and message myself or Tori, and we'll try to help any way we can. We think the cost is great. I think everything you're doing is great. Please say that it's not your last video, but if it is, it is. And yeah, soon then.
All right. Thanks, Doug.
All right, dude. Have a good one.
Later.
Later.